Hi guys. Sorry I'm a little late. This is a reminder that in the future I can just I can start at 7. I don't have to start at 6:30, okay? Just a friendly reminder to myself. So we got real fancy, okay? We're double fancy. And I set up another camera to look at the yarn. So how this is gonna go is like the previous Granny Square live streams, where you can send me a tip via Ko-Fi, a little doo-doo-doo will pop up, and then you get to pick a color of yarn from the chaos that is that other screen, and we'll start making a Granny Square. Okay, I'm chilling. How are you guys doing? How's your night going? I was watching my niece next door, so there's a puppy over there and a baby, and my aunt is in town, and I was like, I'm gonna be so on top of everything. I'm gonna make slow cooker food. So I like made dinner before I went over, and then ate, shoveled into my mouth, basically. And also, Maria, look, these are my little yeehaw ghosts. Maria got me these, and they're the best. I get so many compliments every time I wear them. Yeah. Yeah, 3 cameras. I know, it's really bonkers. It's really goofy, but I thought I'd try because I have them. And then, yeah, I really feel discombobulated, so I'm sorry if you're getting my frenetic energy, but we'll chill. We're getting there. I know, they're like yeehaw ghosts. Yeah, I love them so much. If that isn't my vibe, yeehaw ghost core, I don't know what is. I also need someone to pick the outer ring, probably 2 more colors for the Granny Square that we made on the last live stream that still needs a few rows to finish. I don't want to do that here because obviously it takes a long time to do those like outer rows, but let me hunt that down. That there. It's like the perfect autumn vibe. Look at that. I love her. Also, okay, look at, I put a pumpkin on my nails. I showed this on the live stream over the weekend, but I'm still, that one doesn't look as good because it is on my dominant hand, but yeah, it was like chilly here. Like there's a chill in the air, and I got to wear a sweater this morning while I drank my pumpkin spice coffee. I did. If you are looking for a pumpkin spice creamer, may I recommend the Chobani brand. It was like the only option at my Safeway so far, but it like slaps. It's really good, and I think that's the one I'm going to be sticking to, because sometimes I feel like I don't know, there's ones that are just like very processed. It does have dairy in it. It's like whole cream, you know, pumpkin spice creamer, but it's really good. Although I do have to like fight maple off every time I use any whipped cream. Like I squirt the tiniest bit of whipped cream, and maple is like, me, my turn. It's hot there in the UK. I mean, I love an iced pumpkin spice too. Like if I go to Starbucks, I'm all for the pumpkin cream cold brew. That's my drink of choice. So, you know. But yeah, I don't know if that was like the last heat wave that we had was over this weekend. But yeah, the weather, like the highs for the next couple of weeks are in the 70s and 80s. But it's always very chilly, like in the morning. Like 50s. Going to get a PSL tomorrow morning at the airport. Tails is like that with whipped cream too. I know, it's so funny. Moose also was. So like if I had whipped cream, it was like I would like turn and both of the animals were like but yeah, Maple's pretty incessant. But also I one time tried to give it to her and I got it on her nose. And now she doesn't trust me with the nozzle. So I have to put it on my finger and then like feed it to her. Because otherwise she's like, no, you're gonna cover my nose with whipped cream. Which is also kind of funny. Yeah, my dinner that I made, I've never done this in the slow cooker, but I made albondigas, which is like meatball soup, Mexican meatball soup. I don't know. I just made it. I made it pretty like chill because Kay's still like stomach is a little funky. But I made albondigas with turkey meatballs, and then a bunch of quesadillas on the side. And I also fed the other side of the house, which is my cousin and her mom and the baby. So that felt good. Yeah. I mean, look at my nails, like totally go with this too. Yeah, but that's what's happening today. It's been a little chaotic, so hi Kate, how are you? I'm glad so many people are joining. This is fun. Yeah, we're just getting started. I have my like whole display of yarn, so if you would like to pick the beginning of the next granny square or the outer border of this one, you can send me a tip via Ko-Fi, and then we can probably even zoom in on all those yarns. It's not the best camera, you can see. Like the quality is like iffy at best, but we can get a general idea. Also, I was just talking about in the Discord picking maybe like three movies, like scary movies to watch together over the course of probably like late September and then like a couple in October. And I know a few people in the Discord were like, I don't want it to be scary. So we'll do like one cozy spooky movie that we can choose, and then like a couple horror movies. And hey Maria, if you want to co-host with me, I'm not really gonna be doing anything except chatting with people, but if you want to have like a Maria pick movie to watch, that would be fun too. So last year we did Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which I think is really good, and I know some people who are like not really into horror tuned in to watch it with me and really enjoyed it. It's very nostalgic, especially if you read the books when you were a kid. It's just a romp. It's fun. I also really love the like Fear Street series for like similar reasons. Like those are based off of like some Goosebumps, R.L. Stein books. So those are kind of like the vibe, I guess. The level of horror. So no, yeah, everyone's welcome here. Nope. I just do this frequently, so people hang out, so I kind of just know everyone. But yeah. Yeah, anyone's invited. But if anyone has any cozy, spooky movies that they particularly like I think I recommended like Corpse Bride or, I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas. We could always do, but I think that's like on Disney Plus. So I really tried last year to do it just on Netflix, but then it gets even more complicated because all the different countries have different, you know, streaming licensing. So we also had to make sure that they were at least available in like a couple places. Blair Witch Project, Fear Street, yeah. Blair Witch is, I think I like, because I watched it so after the fact, like I wasn't part of like the cultural moment. It's not my favorite. Hocus Pocus. Oh, Over the Garden Wall. That would be, especially for people who haven't seen it yet. We love Over the Garden Wall. Glare. See, I like didn't pick up because honestly horror movies are like comforting to me. I know it's ridiculous, but like I just put on a scary movie like sometimes. So ooh, new books from R.L. Stine. I love that. I mean, yeah, at some point maybe we'll also do a book club, but I feel like movies are a little easier right now. You know? Oh my god, I turned this fan on thinking that it was the right vibe, but it's actually too cold. Whoa. As I stick a crochet hook into my fan. Yeah, it really is. It's just like, I don't know. I have a scary movie club with my friends and we call it the Pants Shitting Club. That's very funny. What do you watch in your scary movie club? Kay and I like really love watching like queer horror things, I guess. Like there's Shudder. Shudder has like a really cool series about like just queers talking about their experience with horror, which I love. So thanks, Heather. What color should we do? Body Snatchers, love it. Kay and I have like, you've probably seen it before. It's like a scratch off movie chart, like movie thing. So it kind of goes like decade by decade, which like I don't know how you're supposed to choose like the best of the decades, but yeah, it's been a good intro to some of like the 80s and 90s horror movies. Kay falls asleep instantly at any of like the 40s horror movies, but we try. All right, Heather, would you like to start with a pink today? Okay. We can do that. Let me go see. My husband and I made a list of October movies. Got some Universal Monster movies, and then there's stuff like Evil Dead 2. Amazing comfort movie. All right, Heather, what do we want? Let me grab a couple of the pinks. We also have, let me add, okay, I'm going to give you a couple options here. I've got this like mini that has pink speckles. I've got this like obviously hot pink fuchsia. Got this guy, it's kind of fun. Maybe I need to turn this light on. We've got this guy, which is similarly speckled. You tell me if none of these are vibing with you. We can look further in the collection. I haven't seen Crimson Peak. I've heard mixed things about it. I feel like even on here we were talking about it, and someone said like the aesthetics are really great. because I think it's Guillermo, and but like the, what's it called? Like the storyline wasn't great, but that's a good contender, Crimson Peak. I watched a new scary movie called Ennie's Men and on Sunday, which was good, but more like experimental movie spooky. Yeah, that's a vibe. That's a vibe. Yeah, I watched this like last week. I've been watching all the Terrifier movies. I think I've talked about that quite a bit, but I watched Terrifier, Terrifier 2, and All Hallows Eve. The third one you held up. Pink and darker berry. Yes, okay. Love it. Shove that in there. And then I still got my handy dandy, like, 4, I don't know what this is called. Kim, do you know what this dice is called? It's like 4-sided pyramid. I don't know. We got 2, so we're gonna do 2 rounds of that. Okay. Ah! This actually very much also kind of matches my nails and my cup. I added the Kewpie for this month's sticker club, or I guess now last month's sticker club, onto my cup, as well as a couple sticker clubs ago. That holographic guy. Tetrahedron. Wow. I knew you'd know. I knew you'd have my back. I appreciate it. I knew someone in this group would know. Am I not on screen at all? Let's see. Let's tilt this a little bit. All right, here we go. Thanks, Heather. All right. We're now on to season 2. We rewatched season 1 of Only Murders in the Building. And I just, look, anything with Steve Martin and Martin Short, I just love. They're so good together. But also, like, I really like Selena Gomez in it. I like the way she's a good actress, okay? She is. And her outfits are, like, stunning. And, yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. It's the perfect beginning of fall, cozy show, in my opinion. I also like that they really are, like, poking fun at true crime, kind of, like, fan culture. Yeah, I'm just really, really enjoying it. Ooh, my crochet hook. I, like, at some point glued this in, because this is my favorite hook, which is the boy hook. But this thing falls off. It like twists. So I, at some point, had it glued down, but the glue just was not liking the silicone, I think. I'm assuming this is silicone. Maybe it's too porous, I don't know. But yeah, do you guys have favorite crochet hooks? Because I didn't know I was so picky, but now that I've been crocheting more, I definitely am. You guys saw probably on Instagram that I made Kay what has been dubbed, that I found. I think I first heard of this on TikTok, maybe YouTube. I don't know if any of you follow, what's her, Darling Desi on YouTube. She has very like cute romanticize your life content, and she was talking about a boo basket, and that her and her partner get each other boo baskets, and that like technically it's a thing that people created for their kids. So like the beginning of October, you can give them like Halloween pajamas that they can wear throughout the month or whatever, like coloring books. So anyway, I heard of this idea, and I had already been collecting Kay goodies, which we've talked about on here, and I'd eaten some up on here. And so I'd already started kind of collecting them some stuff, because I was going to do like a countdown to Halloween. But I had like some socks and like some candies and stuff. And so they were like really, like they were pretty sick last week. They were not very happy. They couldn't eat treats, but I also had like cozy stuff in it. So I decided, I was like, I'm just gonna, partially because I'm impatient and I love gift giving, but also because I thought it would just like perk them up. I put together the rest of it, and I went to Fred Meyer here, which is basically like a super Walmart, but like slightly bougier. I don't know how else to explain it. It just has like home stuff. It has like a book section. It has outdoor, whatever. It's pretty big. So I went there, and I was like walking around just seeing like if they had like fall decor or whatever. And they had squishmallows that were fall animals dressed up. And I was like, well, okay. And at first I saw like a little moose with a scarf on it that was so cute. And then I saw a bear, and Kay, I call Kay Oso. So I was like, it was a bear wearing a flannel. And I was like, well, you have to take this to work and leave it in your office. So I got them that, and I got them a big old man crossword book puzzle, which has been awesome. And I actually even like got a couple of the answers. I'm like, my brain does not, like, I know it's a skill that you develop, but like in general, my brain is like not crossword puzzle, you know, that kind of, I don't know, those clues, like, not it. Like there was one that was like goose eggs, and the answer was O. Like that is not that I no. And I had a former boss who like did blog posts with her husband every day that they talked about the New York Times crossword puzzle. Like they would like judge it. They'd be like, this one wasn't very good, or like this one was very clever. And then they went to like crossword puzzle like competitions, which apparently are a thing. I digress. There are people in my life who are really into crosswords. I'm not really one of them, but I got Kay this like big chunky old man crossword puzzle book, and they've been really enjoying it, which is pretty cute. So, and then we got just like a bunch of goodies that they can't really eat right now, but are on the mend. They're on the mend. They felt pretty good today. I don't know, they just got some weird like GI issue thing going on. I have been fine, but yeah, they've just not been, they've been eating like rice and unseasoned turkey for like a week. It's very sad. Today was like the first day they felt pretty good all day, so I don't know, it just happens, right? They're like, I've never been humbled. Like they threw their back out earlier this year, and they're just like, yeah, I've been very humbled in my 32nd year. And they're like just older than me, that I can just really, you know, lay it on thick. But yeah. Oh, and then last night I was up here upstairs just like putting away my laundry, which like really since the move I haven't like organized my laundry. Like I've just been shoving it in drawers, and I was like, I had done like a bunch of laundry and I was like, I really need to like empty my drawers and like put what belongs in here away properly, right? So it was like a big task that I was not looking forward to. I had an audiobook on, I was like vibing, and Kay's like, but Cassie, and I was like, what? And a bee had gotten into their pants and stung them. I was just like, you are really having a rough go of it. So luckily their leg did not swell up terribly. They took Benadryl, but apparently like the first time they got a bee sting on their hand swelled up to the size of like a baseball mitt. And I was like, oh no, okay. So it's just been a week in the Mullen Gordon household. That's all I'm saying. All right. Where are my scissors? I don't know. They were just like outside, I guess, earlier in the day. How long could a bee have been in their pants? But like we go out into the yard somewhat frequently because we have a backyard and we let the dog out. And sometimes she doesn't want to hang out in the yard unless we are there with her. So I'm assuming they went outside and like they were just, it was in the grass and it just flew up and it got trapped in their leg. So they like felt something weird and they were like trying to, I don't know, they were trying to fix it, and then all of a sudden a bee stung them. Which is so funny because this also happened to a friend of mine like within the last year. Where I had seen her like days before, and she was like, yeah, I've never been stung by a bee or anything. And she like went out to get the mail and came back in and like got bit like twice by like a yellow jacket, I think. And she like tore off her pants, and her partner's like, what? And she was like, what's in my pants? And yeah, it was a bee. So she like very humbly had to come into the group message with all of us that had been hanging out, and she was like, so I definitely eat my words about never having been stung by anything. But yeah, it's funny. I don't know what these Portland insects are really into pants. Okay, this is a cute beginning. She funky. It's kind of like a goth Barbie vibe. You see this little guy? Look how cute. Yeah, definitely goth Barbie. You see it? What are you guys working on tonight? Anyone cast on anything new recently? I feel like, Maria, you just finished a big project. It might have. Yeah, it is a really good color choice. We love her. I did finish my little neckerchief scarf thing. I talked about it in my last podcast episode, but I really need to block it. Oh, there's Maple. Hold on. Hello? here's what we're gonna do, is you're gonna wear the little scarf and be really cute. Oh, look at that. How much is that little puppy? Oh, you look so elegant. I cast on a second rib lace raglan this week. Awesome. You're crocheting a granny square for a friend's giant 12-foot skeleton. Hell yeah. Working on that same test knit from last time is mosaic pullover. Oh, Maple. Look, be cute. You've got grass in your armpit. Were you outside? Yeah. Okay, all right. You being shy? Fine. I think that you should just have this, Maple. Or I should make us matching ones. Ooh, I'm excited about the Funfetti raglan. I might have to make one of those. But maybe I need to make Maple and I matching little neckerchiefs. I love the idea of just like throwing a granny square up onto like the head, on like top of the head of the skeleton. Like a little yarmulke. The stego sweater. Stego? Like a stegosaurus? Oops. Let's see. Ravelry. Where did this go? Oh my god, a granny square sweater for the skeleton. That's amazing. Autumn doodle cowl, but working on a sock since it's easier to do and type. Taylor, that's so funny. The mosaic pullover is an Andrea Gone test too. Pearl wise, yeah. Very cool. Okay, I'm looking up the stego. It is indeed Stegosauruses. Very cool. That looks like it's a tiny gauge. Oh, it's DK. That looks really cool. Love it. You done with me? You were the one who wanted to come in. Okay, give this back to me then. Thank you so much. You want to go hang out with Kay? Go to Kay. Go. No? Okay, well, she's gonna hang out with me, so. Thank you. I don't know. I'm assuming it's just Kim, perhaps? Kim and Carl? Oh, Kim and Carl. Kim. I'm like... I need a fourth camera for a Maple Camp. Yeah, I should just like attach her. Attach one to her so that you can watch her rolling around in the grass outside. I don't know why I just had a blank with who Kim and Carl is, so sorry, Kim. Tell me what colors you're vibing with. I've seen like a streamer who has like a cam on her cat bed, And when her cat gets into the cat bed, she like turns on the cam so you can also watch the cat. So potentially I could put the camera that's on the yarn on Maple's bed, but she doesn't hang out in her bed that often. So, okay, let me grab some dark colors because I think I have more in my basket over here. Got this guy. Okay, I grabbed you a few options. We've got this one, which is kind of like a sprucey green. So that's number 1. We've got this dark blue, definitely more blue. I've got this one, which is not as dark, but it has some like green in it. That one's kind of cool. And then last, I've got this guy. I think this is like mostly black, but it's a nice like woolly, like it's very lightweight. It's definitely not superwash. Okay, I feel better that like Carl is having some input. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why, like, I don't know what happened. Yeah, let me know. There's also like a red that we used in this, like this red marl too, if you wanted to do like a warmer color. So that's the final option. I think that's over there too. Let's see. Got this greeny one and this one. Dark woolly skein. Amazing. Let me wind it up real quick. Did you miss me? Black like your soul. Wow, wow, wow. Look, I wound this little skein up, and there's fully a feather in it. I don't know where that came from. This was, so it's super lightweight. It says it's 25 grams, but it is so lightweight and thin that I can't imagine how much yardage is on this. I got this little skein at a yarn swap that I did with some of my coworkers not too long ago. Well, thank you, Carl, for helping pick. Yeah, it's so thin compared to this stuff. Maybe I'll hold it double. Because this skein is like a plump fingering. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. All right. Okay, so like half of us are like fully in fall mode and kind of getting a little chilly where we live, and then the other half are like very hot still, like in summer. But what if you're not feeling the fall vibes yet? Are you planning to do anything to get into them? Or are you just gonna like wait? Because I'm like a fall simp, okay? I don't think anyone is surprised by that. And also my birthday is in October, so I feel like entitled somehow to like really appreciate fall. Ugh, I'm so sorry it's hot in Montreal. Is it also muggy, humid? I feel like Boston was always so muggy until it wasn't. And then it was very brisk. Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I went swimming as many times. Oh, I forgot to roll my tetrahedron. 4. Perfect. I didn't go swimming as much as I would have liked because I think of the move and just, I don't know why. We're just busy. 104? No, you guys. That's not fun at all. Yeah, okay, that's really hot. I hate that. Heat wave, but watching Halloween movies all weekend. Yeah, I actually spent all weekend, like, every once in a while I get into this, like, mood, like, where I just feel like I can't concentrate on TV, and so I was listening to a lot of audiobooks, and I read, like, 4 of the, what are they called? The Vampire Knitting series. I know I've talked about those books on here on my podcast before. They're real goofy. There's not a lot of depth to them. And like, I did recommend them to someone who I do knit night with. Oh God. And she's been reading them, and she was like, I feel like I feel like the author is not a knitter. And so she looked it up and came back and was like, confirmed, the author is not a knitter. And ever since I've learned that, maybe I've just become a little more understanding of a little more understanding of, like, I don't know, the vibe of the book, I guess. Of, like, I don't know. It's very goofy, right? They're just goofy books. They're fluffy. But anyway, I listened to like 4 of them this weekend. And they just were, that's what I needed. Just goofy, cozy mystery, vampire, witch, low stakes, murder. So I just moved on to like the second to last. And I don't think the series is over. I just think that's like as many as have been written. But if you want a goofy, cozy mystery series, the Vampire Knitting Club is a good contender, I will say. Just don't take them too seriously. And don't expect to, like, believe that any of the characters are actually into one another. I just feel like I don't really buy the romance, but I'm suspending my disbelief. I mean, I'm suspending my disbelief about vampires and witches, so I feel like I can also suspend my disbelief for bad romantic attachments, right? Okay, 1 done. I think the dark color was a good move, leaning hard into goth Barbie vibes. I think that if I were a young person today, I would probably be very into Monster High. Those were like not around when I was a kid, but every time I'm like walking through the toy aisle, because I always go look at the games, I like noticed the Monster High ladies, and I was like, you look really cool. I like your sense of style. And that is the conundrum, because half of me loves Calico Critters and the other half loves Monster High. It's like there are 2 wolves fighting inside of you. One wants to play with Calico Critters and the other wants to play with Monster High brats. I did see, speaking of brats, I don't know that they're actually, they just look alike, but I saw like a TikTok that was saying that okay, so in Barbie, I'm assuming everyone has watched it, this is not really a spoiler, but she goes to the high school to find this girl that's been like showing up in her visions, and she finds her with her 3 friends, and someone pointed out that the 4 girls are named after the 4 original Bratz dolls. And they like are too cool for Barbie, and it's very funny. So anyway, fun little tidbit. I like the Babadook. I like The Witch. The Witch is one of my all-time favorite movies, like hands down. And I've never heard of Color Out of Space, but I will look it up. Oh my god. It's a long day, okay? But I don't need to be yawning. Okay, let me turn off my notifications because my sister is very lovingly sending me a million text messages. My sister actually just got back from like hiking. I don't even know what in Yosemite, but she sent me pictures. I'm very impressed with her. The hike, it was like a backpacking trip. They went so high up, and she sent me pictures of like climbing this freaking boulder. And they went to the top, and like all there was to hold on to were like these ropes that had been installed. And you just like hold on to the ropes, and you're basically climbing, like it looked from the picture like a 90, 85 degree angle. So she just got back from that, which is very, very cool. But yeah, I was like, I don't like when you're off grid because I don't have anyone to send TikToks to when I see something good. Who do I send silly cat memes to when you're off gallivanting in the woods? I did, over the last couple of days, actually get my yarn dyeing space set up in my basement. And it's so much nicer than my last setup. First of all, there's an actual water source. Go figure, that would make a difference. And the lighting, I need to buy like a nice light where I can actually see what the colors look like. But in general, it's so much better. It's so much better. Thank you, Claire. What color are you thinking after this? Are we continuing with the goth Barbie vibe? I'm glad that you're into that. My little gremlin laugh. I have to go to bed. Purple? Okay. The one that's like, okay. Okay, I got it. Well, good night. Thanks for hanging out. I am very aware that when you're hanging out on the live stream, you are usually passed out or like it's very late where you are. So I see you. I know. Thanks for hanging. And yes, I will grab that purple and we'll roll for it, and I'll tag you in the updates, all right? Good night. Go to sleep. Don't melt. There's the first 2 rows, so now there's like the same amount as there were, but I'm gonna do 2 more. But before I do that, I'm gonna go grab that skein. It's one of my favorite colors. I really want to at some point make a sweater out of this. It is Scout, I believe, from Kelborn Woolens. And it's just a really good purple moment. And for that one, we got a 3. Okay. 3. Can you see that? Maybe not. Yeah, what time is it where you are, Kim? Is it late or early? I just feel like it's early. Oh yeah, you're coming to the Pacific Northwest. Okay. I hope you have a good trip. I'm excited to hear about it. Ooh. So you know how like the Babadook became a gay icon because it was like in the LGBTQ section of Netflix? You guys know this story? Well, the other day I was looking up horror movies on Netflix, and I think I literally just typed in horror, and it was like all of the usuals, but also Mean Girls. And I thought it was very funny that Mean Girls popped up. And I'm like, honestly, like the real experience is that high school girls are kind of like the ultimate horror movie, horror moment, in my opinion anyway. That was like some of the scariest shit I ever saw. 3:30, crafty all-nighter. Oh my god, that's very sweet. I didn't think about how late/early it would be there. Yeah, Babadook. Yeah, the memes for Babadook were some of the best. I love them. I also have a friend who does drag in San Francisco, and he did like a whole Babadook like drag performance, which was very amazing. Actually, there's a horror themed drag show that happens every month here in Portland, and I feel like it was like always on a night, like of course drag is so late at night, like and like for some reason I feel like usually when things are on Wednesdays we're just like, oh well, we can never go because I do knit night like every single Wednesday, but for whatever, I digress. There is a horror themed drag show here in Portland, and one of our favorite local drag queens is Sue from Corporate, she's amazing and hilarious. She's also the one who hosts the emo drag night. So yeah, we adore her. And she did a full-on barbarian drag performance, and I'm so sad I missed it. It looked amazing. She had like a baby bottle and everything. I wonder if I can find pictures. But yes, we missed it, and I'm still sad about it, but one day I will see that horror drag show. I also remember like one time when we visited Portland, they were having a Weird Al drag show, which I would also really love to attend. What's your favorite Weird Al song? Everyone has one, right? I feel like it's probably the one you listen to in like 6th, 7th grade. But I definitely have one. But I want to hear yours first. Best, worst Weird Al cover. I mean, I guess they're all covers, whatever. The album that I remember getting in 6th grade for my birthday from my best friend, who also got me a Good Charlotte t-shirt from Hot Topic, okay? It was a moment in time. The album that I got was Poodle Hat, so a little later you know, of a heyday for Weird Al. And that was the album that had such hits as Why'd You, like, So Complicated, but it was so constipated. And it was, like, about eating too much cheese. Trying to remember what else was on that album, because my favorite Weird Al song that I could probably at the drop of a hat sing the entire song is Angry White Boy Polka, which is just a medley to various polka beats of like all of the greats at the time, the Strokes, the Vines, the Hives, Eminem, who else is in there? The Cut My Life Into Pieces, System of a Down. It has like all of those guys in it, and it's so funny. Yeah, Amish Paradise, yeah, of course. The wines. I Lost on Jeopardy is a great one. My dad definitely like got me into like, oh, Nirvana is also an Angry White Boy Polka. Like my dad got me in, or like introduced me to Eminem, which, you know, debatable about whether or not that was a good idea. But like, so one of the things that Kay and I do to pass the time when we are driving on a road trip, and we do a lot of road trips, and of course we've driven across the country like twice, is we'll like basically start adding songs to a queue. We'll spend like 20 minutes just being like, what song next? What song next? And then we'll just play through it, and we have to go, you know, back and forth. It has to be like fairly even 50-50 split of my songs and their songs. And I remember one of the first road trips we took together, they had me put on What Does the Fox Say? And then they informed me that they had done a drag performance to What Does the Fox Say? Which, first of all, amazing. Like, hands down, really good. Second of all, I had never heard that song before. There's like a period of like 2 years where I was just like overworked in college and going to school full time and just like doing too much, that there's like a cultural moment that I like missed. Like, it's just like 2 years where every once in a while like a song will come up and I'm like, I've never heard that. And this was one of those moments. So I got to basically be in the car at like probably 10 o'clock at night listening to What Does the Fox Say for the first time ever while Kay was driving, and just like basically performing What Does the Fox Say? And it was, we'll never forget it. Now every time I see a fox, even though I know what a fox sounds like, you can't not think about that. I think the other thing is that when Kay and I had like first met, we were like on public transit together, and someone on the car like sees Kay and goes, "Slim Shady," and I was like, that's what's happening right now. And they had done a drag performance to Lose Yourself. And this person was also a drag king, and had seen Kay perform that, and so always like did not remember their name but called them Slim Shady. So there's also that. I saw on Instagram, what does the fox say? Turned 10 this week. Time is not real. Oh my god. Yeah, that's wild. Okay, this is the last round of the black. I think this was a great choice. And then we're gonna do 3 rounds of that purple. The other colors I need to remind you that I need to pick out are the edge of this. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 5 rounds that I need to still crochet for this. So I need to pick those colors too, because I want to finish these squares. Especially because at the end of this month, I'm getting a Halloween countdown. And I want to incorporate those into granny squares. So I would like to have these guys all finished before that arrives and I start opening it. At least like a few of them. Okay, I think also what I have decided is that that camera is not crisp enough to actually be helpful in terms of seeing the colors of yarn. So maybe I will set it up to be on Maple's bed so that if Maple comes and hangs out, we can have a Maple cam. But I'm also open to other ridiculous ideas for third cam angles. Okay? All right. If you've seen any other streamers who do something goofy, you let me know. I also did talk about doing a stream where I showed you my Animal Crossing island. Maybe I'll figure out how to do that next week. And maybe that's what I'll do next week, is we'll go on a tour of my spooky island. Because I am decorating for Halloween. And I have a yarn store, so it's not like totally devoid of you know, relevance. Everyone approves of a Maple cam, so maybe I'll just have to give her a greenie to come hang out. Or maybe this is too much. I was like, maybe I'll make a Maple like wish list and you can buy her treats and then I can give her the treats that you buy on stream. That would be like pretty cute. What a spoiled pup. Ooh, this yarn is definitely sheddy. Like, I just feel like there's a bunch of like little hairs coming off of it. Interesting. I wish that it were easier to like stream audiobooks, because how fun would it be to have like an audiobook playing and like to be able to hang out and like knit and chat while an audiobook is playing. Very possibly too chaotic, but like I feel like I've seen more and more people doing like basically lo-fi hangout videos where it's just like an aesthetically pleasing background and you just like knit for like an hour with lo-fi playing. I wish you could do that with like an audiobook. Need to weave in these ends. Yeah, I think that was the right call to hold this double, because I think it would have just been way too thin as a single strand. Look how cute. Oh boy, okay. And there we go. Look at that. She's cute. Maria. I am unsurprised that the one with the most black is your favorite. I think it's gonna be cute. Yeah, Kim, tell Carl thank you for putting his soul into the square. You know, I am so glad we went out to breakfast when you were here, because while we were out, I saw a poster for a musician that I really love. And I was like, oh, I want to go to that. And at first, it like didn't really seem like it was going to happen, because it was like when we were moving. But I like went to look at tickets, and Kay ended up deciding to go out with some friends that night. And I was like, okay, well, my mom's in town. And we ended up going to see him perform, and it was so fun. And yeah, I went with my mama. And yeah, we just had such a good time. So yeah, it was kind of funny that just because we went out to breakfast and I happened to see that poster, otherwise I would have never known that it was happening. Okay. So this one is 3. We love her. Let's do, I don't want as long of a tail, it's bugging me. Okay, what do we think of the purple? I don't know, you guys. I mean, always the squares, no matter where we think they're gonna go somewhere different, and they almost always work out. I have never made a square that I just don't like. I think I would have to like actively be trying to do that. Okay, what do we think? Verdict. Okay, all right. I'm glad you guys love it. Okay, Goth Barbie is the vibe for this square. We will definitely keep going in that direction. Thanks for hanging out, Kate. Have a good night. I think I'm even fading a little bit. I did have a long day. Been doing a lot. I have, I'm vending at a small event in 2 weekends. So not this weekend, but the following one. And then I'm vending again at the beginning of November. So got the die space set up and sort of like getting ready to work on all of those things. So there's a lot going on over here in this neck of the woods. And whatever I don't sell at camp, I will be putting up. And I'm dyeing a ton of my DK base liminal for that event. So I have no idea how much I'll sell at that event. But yeah, whatever I have left, I will be putting online. And then I'm hoping to get a huge restock of M to the 3rd sock. My very good friend Natalie designed a sweater pattern with M to the 3rd sock, and it just released last week, and unfortunately just the way the shipping times and everything worked out, we couldn't sell it for the pattern release, which is a bummer, but you know, it happens, it's okay. But yeah, so camp is put on by Starlight, which is the store I work at, and it's literally just knitting camp. It's like Friday, Saturday night, and there's knitting classes that you can take. You get breakfast, lunch, and dinner catered, and there's different price point options for like your lodging. So last year, because I was teaching, I split a yurt with Tim, which was very fun. And this year I wasn't even sure I was gonna go, but I was like feeling too much FOMO. I was like, I gotta go. So I just signed up for like the cheapest option. So I'm not taking any classes, but I am getting food, and I am camping in a tent. And I was talking with my cousin, and she was like, my tent is not waterproof, so you better make sure you got like a backup plan. And I was like, my backup plan is to go sleep in Tim's tent yurt with him with the heater if there's rain. But I honestly, I mean, knock on freaking wood, we really have not gotten rain yet this season. And last year it was cold, but it was not wet. But I know like 2 years prior it was very wet. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But I've got my little tent. I've got my camping gear. But it's still pretty like bougie camping, so I'm not too worried. So we'll just hang out. I'm gonna bring my spinning wheel, because I guess there's like a spin in public day, and some people are going into town to spin at a coffee shop, which should be cute. And yeah, it should be pretty fun. So yeah, if you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. But I guess they've been doing it for several years now, and there's like a pretty regular crew that goes to it. But they're all very, very welcoming. I had such a good time like meeting everyone and kind of just being introduced into the community. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna finish this round, and then I think I'm gonna sign off because my little eyeballs are tired. But as always, thanks so much for hanging out. Sorry for being a slightly lower energy than usual. I can't decide if I just need to like switch it to Thursdays or what, but it's tough coming from watching a baby for like, I don't know how many hours, 6 hours, to here. And then I also usually work in the morning before going over there. So they're just long days, these Tuesdays. I haven't watched her for a couple of weeks because they all had COVID for a minute. So we were obviously distancing. Everyone's feeling much better now. And but that break just really was indicative of, my energy levels for doing this afterwards versus just doing it with nothing else going on prior to it. So yeah, I gotta figure that out. But I really love doing these live streams. I think it's really fun to hang out with everyone and chat, and yeah, I know you guys like it too. So I will take your considerations for the horror movies into account when I make the final schedule for the September into October viewing parties. Still haven't decided. I also need to just like spend some time on Netflix and see what's available in the US and Canada and UK. Okay, and there we go. It definitely is spooky. It's a spooky square for sure. I think maybe we need to incorporate some orange into that, but I'll finish up those last 2 rounds, and I'll definitely see you guys very soon, whether it's on Discord or a live stream or Instagram. But thanks for hanging out. Yeah, have a good evening, morning, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you very soon.